like mass in here. It's all quiet.
Good evening. Today is Tuesday, March 14th, and the board meeting was called to order at 5 p.m. today, with the board going directly into executive session under the following ORS. ORS 192-6602D to conduct deliberations with persons designated by the governing body to carry on labor negotiations. ORS 332.0611 to conduct a hearing on the expulsion of a student or to review a student's confidential medical records, and ORS 192.6602F to consider records exempt by law from public inspections. It's now 6:10 p.m. and we are reconvening our meeting with the public session, which is a business session. All board members are present. With Director Hyen, I believe, on Zoom. Our two student advisors are present. And we would also like to welcome incoming superintendent, Andrea Castaneda, who is also present in the boardroom this time. Welcome. I'm now pleased to ask Director Hinojos Presi to read our land acknowledgement.
Thank you. We are gathered today on the land of the Kalapuya, who are represented by the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde and the Confederated Tribes of the Siletz Indians. The relationship between the Kalapuya people and this land continues unbroken to this day, and we offer gratitude for the land and for the generations, present and past, who have stewarded the land since time immemorial. We respectfully acknowledge and honor past, present, and future Native American and Indigenous students and staff of Salem-Keizer Public Schools. We invite you to join us in honoring these ancestral grounds and celebrating the resilience and strength of all Native American and Indigenous peoples.
Thank you very much. Next on our agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, that brings us to letter C, 3C, agenda modifications. I do not believe there are any agenda modifications. And so that takes us to number 4 on our agenda, Spotlight on Success, usually the most fun part. So I'm pleased to turn this over to Superintendent Perry.
All right, good evening, everyone. Hey, Pastor Brooks, it's good to see you. All right, so our first spotlight is going to be presented by Cynthia Richardson, our Director of the Office of Student Equity Access and Advancement. So Cynthia, it's really good to see you too. All right, take it away. Mm-hmm. You might have to do that, yeah.
For Zoom, you got to push the button too.
There we go. There we go. No, you got
You've got to hold it.
You're modeling for everyone else. Thank you for that modeling.
Chairperson Cottingham, board directors, Superintendent Perry, student advisors. It's my privilege to be here today to talk about this awesome man who's made such a difference in the lives of our students at McKay High School. Tonight, I'd like to recognize Pastor Ronnie Brooks, a retired college and career coach at McKay High School. In December 2008, I was privileged to hire him to assist students, parents, and community members in establishing pathways to complete high school successfully and to obtain career and college education and experiences. When asked, Pastor Brooks said, "What fulfills me most about this job is watching students when the light bulb turns on." He said students would come to his office and say they didn't see anything they needed. These very same students would come back months later and say, "I do want to go to college. I do want the opportunity to attend a vocational or technical school." Pastor Brooks says one of his proudest accomplishments are the family nights that were established and very well attended. It was nothing for us to have about 150 families at these family nights. Family nights were a way to build relationships and trust with students and families. He focused on how to make college affordable and how to earn scholarships. Students learned how to complete their FAFSA applications, how to write their letters of applications to study or work, and how to apply for financial aid. They've also learned how to earn apprenticeships. Colleagues of Ronnie describe him as thoughtful, always thinking of others first, and seeing the good in everyone. He is approachable and can be found standing in the hallways of the school greeting everyone, whether he knows them or not. Mr. Brooks encourages students to work hard and to reach their potential. He's retiring today. As a matter of fact, he's already had his last day. But still, he will continue to work with this community. He desires to work with the homeless and to seek services and opportunities to assist them in becoming self-sufficient citizens. Let's please congratulate Mr. Ronnie Brooks for his commitment to our students, and please, please, please enjoy your retirement. Write the map for me, okay?
Okay, here's what we're going to do to make this smooth. Ashley and I will go out front. They'll come forward, and then if you'll scoot in behind us so that we don't all have to come in and out. Great. Yeah. We're still getting this whole thing.
Get it down.
Okay, I'm here.
I'm about to sit. I'm about to climb out of the chair.
You guys circle.
We can scoot out.
Swap with Osvaldo.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, on three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Got it.
Thank you.
It's not over.
He has got some big shoes to fill at McKay High School. All right, our next spotlight is coming in, and it'll be presented by Rhonda Rhodes, our CTEC principal. So come on in.
Good evening, Chair Carson Cottingham, board members, and Superintendent Parrish.
Don't forget to push the button.
Oh, yeah. Cynthia modeled this for us. You have to hold it, the whole time. Mhm.
I'd love to. Good evening, Chair Carson Cottingham, board members, and Superintendent Perry. Tonight, I would like to recognize an outstanding business partner to the district and to the Career Technical Education Center. Wholesale to You Apparel has provided substantial support for our students in multiple ways. W2U Apparel has hired 7 CTEC students at their business, some following graduation and others during their school year. Students given the opportunity to work at their shop were provided training and exposure to essential skills and industry experience, including printing, design skills, and supply chain logistics management. W2U Apparel also came into our building at CTEC as industry partners and supported students in our program space, equipping students with web development and also the same skills training offered while working in their shop. This provided the whole program with the learning opportunities their employees receive. And of course, this spotlight would not be complete without also mentioning their efforts in giving back to our entire community. W2U Apparel always accepts clothing donations for distributing to families needing support. They often hold supply drives to provide toys during the holidays and school supplies during the summer to students and families who need them most. Erica, Gary, and the W2U team have been a pleasure to work with and are an incredible resource for the community and our local economy. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to spotlight this amazing organization.
All right, we're gonna do.
Another picture.
Right, we're gonna do a picture.
You should go to the front. That's gonna get so short. That's gonna be the
Okay, wait. Use.
1, 2, 3. Go one more. 1, 2, 3. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for everything you do.
Oh, that's good. That's good thinking.
No, look at me.
Oh, my friend. Hey, Hudson. All right, and you have to push down on the button and hold it down. There you go. Oh, good job, Hudson. Hudson got it. Yeah, you just take care of it. Yeah. All right, our next spotlight is going to be our principal from Four Corners Elementary. It's great to see you tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I am privileged and honored to be here. Thank you, Superintendent and board members. So my name is Hugo Valdez, and I am the principal of Four Corners Elementary. And today I am thrilled to be here and support one of my students and celebrate a big success. So he's an extraordinary talented writer, and he's being recognized for that tonight. So, so his name is Hudson Simmons, and he's a 4th grade student in Mrs. Levan's class, and he's a friendly, kind, and smart student. He enjoys reading, and he's an extremely talented writer. I am super proud to introduce this young and talented author of the book Camp Turmoil, and I am honored to introduce him. So please welcome Hudson with a big applause, since he's very excited to share a little bit about his book tonight. Without further more, please welcome Hudson Simmons.
Hi, my name is Hudson. And today I'm going to be reading some Camp Turmoil. Hi, my name is Aiden Oman. I'm studying at Camp Turmoil this summer with my brothers, Taylor and Bo. Bo is the youngest of us. He has 6, blonde hair, freckles. Then we have Tay. Taylor is 7, a daredevil by nature, and one of my best friends. I do have an actual best friend, Nathan. He was stuck at home because he isn't the most well-behaved, and he was in trouble for most of summer. That was fine by me, though, as long as we got to have an epic summer adventure with my brothers. We had heard some myths about this camp, like people turning into snakes, kids going missing, and the list goes on. But that is just silly kid stuff everyone tries to scare everyone with. If anybody has any questions to ask anybody, you can ask them.
Can I get your autograph?
Yes.
Oh, yes, please.
We would all, I think, like your autograph.
They all have your book. Any questions for him before we start the autograph
I
party?
have one
Okay,
question. Oh, go ahead.
you go with the questions.
Hudson, can you just tell us really briefly, what was the inspiration behind this story?
Goosebumps Horrorland, another book series.
Okay, thank you.
Amazing.
My question was very similar. What got you inspired to write?
Goosebumps Horrorland.
Oh, Raylan's got a question.
I have a two-parter question. So the first part is, how long did it take you to write this? And the second part was, what was your most favorite part when writing this?
About 1 year and sharing it with my class.
Oh,
Awesome. Isaac's got a question.
I think I might know the answer to this question, but what is your favorite book?
Camp Turmoil.
that was good.
Robert?
What plans do you have for future writings?
To write the second book, which I'm working on.
Your own series.
Will it be part of a series? This
Yes.
is book 1. Ooh. Okay, keep us posted, all right?
Okay.
We're all really proud of you.
Right, so how about if we just, as a board, go take your book to be signed, and then we'll do a full board picture with Hudson, and you can just be at the signing table up there. Just get-
Okay, I
Yeah,
love it.
there
Just
you
like
go.
an eye. Do we have a special pen?
We should have gotten him
A special pen.
I do have lots of special pens, if anybody wants to borrow one.
Or just copy?
Hey, Christy, can you get mine autographed too, please?
Can someone get Marty's autograph?
Oh, yeah, good. We got it.
Thank you.
I actually started writing in third grade. Where would you like me to sign?
Are we doing picture in the front?
Got the.
All right, on three. 1, 2, 3. I'll get one more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Disconnected and reconnected? I restarted it right now. And I restarted and it wouldn't do it.
I love it.
How do you just-
I love it. Like, where would you like me to sign it?
Hold this button for like 2 seconds.
Lovely.
So it's like a surface? Oh, man. I've had it for more than a year and a half almost, and I didn't know that.
The what? So you can flip it?
I could take it off.
Are you for real? You didn't know this?
He's got a Surface tablet.
You didn't know this?
I didn't know that.
I would like to request a Surface tablet.
I would like.
Sorry, I only used to know those.
I'll trade you. I have a Dell.
Yes, those are the ones que les
cambio,
mandan
I
las
have a Dell.
maestras tienen de esas.
They're practically Lenovo's. I'll trade you.
IBM ThinkPads are the best.
Okay. I'll trade you. I'll still take that one.
I gotta use it now.
Yeah. I love it. I got. Ooh, that would be cool. Thank you to Hudson's family too for all being here and really appreciate it.
They were set to come on the snow day.
Oh.
And I was like, nope, time out.
This is a better day to come.
Yeah.
I want to know what the biggest the daredevil has done.
I call the fist bump a high five.
I know. You will not do that pronunciation.
To over my true inspiration.
Oh, there you go. There we go. Have it in our libraries. Yes.
You should have readings, like in libraries and like bookstores.
Yes.
All right, let's all give Hudson another round of applause.
Thank you, Hudson.
Thanks, Hudson.
All right, come back when you get your second edition or your second book in your series. All right.
There we go.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
All right, I think that takes us to number 5, reports and presentations. Superintendent Perry.
All right, I just have, you can go ahead and go to the first slide, a few things tonight. So the first one is around, I just want to highlight kind of where we are in the legislative session. So first of all, I want to point us back to the current biennium, and I want to remind us that in this biennium, we weren't funded at current service level. So 9.3 is what was passed by the state legislature. 9.8 billion would have been our current service level. We've been able to do okay because we've had the ESSER funds and we had a higher than expected ending fund balance. So we've been able to carry programs forward. But it does mean we have some catch up to do this legislative session. So currently the governor's budget is at 9.9 billion. That's still not a current service level for us. 10.3 is what our advocacy groups are calling a current service level. 10.3 isn't really current service level for most districts in Oregon as well, but that's the number they're pushing for in the legislature. And then I think the important thing is advocacy really does have to be our goal right now to get that state school fund number up. I think we are expecting the co-chair's budget this week. That will be our next signal with where our state is headed, and it'll give us our next number to begin budgeting from. Right now, we're in this holding pattern of being ready to launch our budget without a clear revenue forecast and what that exactly will be for schools. Revenue forecast in the state, though, is strong. You'll hear that over and over again, that there's lots of money in reserves, that we do believe we have the ability to get to 10.3 as a minimum. And then finally, we have one more year on our ESSER funds. Right now, we have 175 staff funded in those emergency relief funds. Those are 175 people that do really important work for kids. Now, we have enough attrition that over time, it's not like that's a layoff scenario, but it does mean the organization goes from this big to smaller with numbers of people to serve kids. So it's really important to watch for that and pay attention as we begin this next phase of funding in Oregon. All right, so with that, I'm turning it over to Dr. Udosnata, who's going to walk you through safe and welcoming schools and also curriculum adoption.
Good evening. It feels like afternoon because it's still light out. Good evening, Chair Carson Cottingham and Superintendent Perry, members of the board. I have a couple of updates for you. First update is on the Safe and Welcoming Schools Advisory Committee. So I want to share some exciting updates on how that group has progressed since the last time we discussed it last board meeting. And then also want to provide an update with Director Gwen Brewy-Fink on the curriculum updates. So those are the two updates for you. So let's go ahead and start with the Safe and Welcoming Schools Advisory Board. So last time we met, there were just the Safe and Welcoming Schools Committee. And we took a lot of the feedback that was provided by the board during the board meeting and went back to the design committee. And we developed a charter. And in that charter, we outlined what the mission of the group was, which in short is to develop a good understanding of all aspects of school safety, and then develop a system for creating safer schools through being proactive, having systems in place to monitor, and being fluid in our responses to issues of school safety in real time. So that's part of the charter. The charter also has our membership and try to do a rough outline for what the meeting schedule should look like. We also fleshed out most of our committee members, and so really pleased to announce that we have 2 board members that will be participating with this group. Director Guzman Ortiz and Director Chandra Gary will be with us, and they'll also be with us at the retreat that we're doing in April. So one other thing, we're discussing how can we elevate student voice. And what we did since our last meeting is we went and visited with the district Student Advisory Committee. It was formerly the District Student Equity Advisory Committee. And we shared what the purpose was of the school, Safe and Welcoming Schools Advisory Committee was. And we also shared the history of where we've been in our journey with Safe and Welcoming Schools. And we got really great feedback about how we can elevate student voice. And something that the students shared with us is that having student voice was important, but the student voice needed to be in a space that was organic. And that wasn't necessarily putting some of our students, especially the students who have the most to say about Safe and Welcoming Schools, in a boardroom per se, or in a conference room around a bunch of adults. And so I'll show you a model for how we intend to solicit student voice. So it's still something that we're working on doing, and we'll talk about it at the retreat. But it won't necessarily be in that standing committee that meets monthly or every other week or however frequently the group meets. But do know that student voice is very important to us. Also, tomorrow, or actually on Thursday, we're going to meet with the District Equity Advisory Committee, and we're going to try to solicit ways or get ideas from them and input from them on how we can elevate community voice and student and staff voice. And then we're already planning on ways to embed that into our retreat. We're going to invite members of the community, probably from the District Equity Advisory Committee, to join us at the retreat as well. So the last time that we met, I showed you a graphic, and I think that graphic led to a lot of questions. And one thing that revelation that I had was that I'm not a great graphic designer. And so what I did is I went to our comms department and said, here's the idea that we have. Here's how we fleshed it out on the board. And I think this graphic that you see right here is a better representation for how this committee will function. So you see at the center is the Safe and Welcoming Schools Advisory Committee. And within there are several staff members, community members, board members, people that are part of that charter. But we also will push into K-12. We'll push into getting parent voice, student voice, and community voice. And it really depends on what we come up with when we have that work session towards the end of our retreat to determine how we build that in. There'll be times when, for instance, at the retreat, we'll bring staff members in as panelists. And that would be a way for us to elevate the voice of schools, right? So this graphic kind of represents how you have the core Safe and Welcoming Schools Committee, and then on the exterior, you have really important stakeholders that will push in and out of this group. And then on the right-hand side, you see us reporting to the superintendent and to the school board. So the next steps, we have a facilitator that's supporting with the planning and the structure of the retreat that we're planning on April 5th. We're really excited about that retreat. We're going to start that retreat with giving a general history of where we've been in our quest for greater safe and welcoming schools. And then after that, we're going to have some real conversations and engaging conversations about what safe and welcoming schools look like. And then in the afternoon, we're really going to turn it into a work group and start working on how we can proactively promote safe and welcoming schools. Would you like me to pause or continue?
Questions? Continue. Oh, Bob.
Yeah, I was just,
Salazar.
who is the facilitator going to be?
Jim Orth. Testing. So Jim Orth will be our facilitator. He was formerly our director of strategic planning. He knows a lot about the district, understands our mission on how we want to elevate safe and welcoming schools and be innovative at the same time. And so I'm really excited about what he'll bring and how he'll be able to help move that group forward.
Director Chandra Gary.
So I got two-part question. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
The first part is this advisory committee, is it going to be a standing committee?
Yeah, it'll be a standing committee.
Okay, so that they'll be in a position to continuously be there,
Correct.
evaluate, course correct if necessary, and be in the position.
Yep, and that's part of the system's
And
work.
they'll be able to work on quality improvement if something doesn't go the right way, it can change.
And that's part of the fluid work.
The
Yeah.
second thing, will
Director
there be?
Chandra Gary, can I just clarify for the record? It's not a standing committee of the board, though. I
No,
just
no,
wanna
it's
be
a
clear.
district standing committee.
Thank you.
Because it advises the superintendent, not the board.
Yep.
The second question is, will there be union representatives sitting in this? Because one of the concerns, they have elevated it to the level of the community.
Yeah, we have school behavior specialists in this space, and I have to double check. I'm not sure if we have a representation from Ask ESP.
So the behavioral specialists belong to that licensed teachers group? I
Correct.
don't know. So they are the SKEA group?
Correct.
Okay, so both unions will have some representation.
I have to double check. I'm not sure if we have Ask ESP representation there.
I just wanted to thank you for doing this work and remind the board, because I'm a stickler about going back to our board goals, that this is part of our board goals that we adopted, goal number 3, for the district to create the Safe and Welcoming Schools work group, and that we're hoping once everything's up and running and you've got your cadence down, that it will be a monthly report out back to the board, including understanding, a deeper understanding. This came from Director Chandra Gary's ask for the, last however many board meetings since we joined, to drill down into some of the data and understand its relationship to other data and what it's telling us about the safety of our schools and how we can improve them overall, and be in the know about all that's occurring and how that feeds into safe and welcoming schools. So not to just solely focus on disciplinary data. We definitely don't want this wonderful advisory committee that you're establishing to be, a negative space, but kind of how those things all tie together.
Thank you. And just one example from the design committee about ways that we're thinking about being proactive. We know how important it is to continue to monitor data. We also know how important it is to get input so that we're innovating and being innovative and responsive to what data we need to be monitoring. But this group is really committed to creating a product that's outward facing, that the community can reference and that parents and family can reference as well, whether it's really trying to enhance or to create awareness around a reporting mechanism that we might have, or resources that we have around safe and welcoming schools, or even creating a podcast or something to that effect. So I'm really excited about where this group is going.
Great. Thank you so much, Assistant Superintendent. Dr. Chandra Gary?
Yeah, Chair, thank you very much. I really appreciate and applaud everybody for working together. I mean, it's understandable when we go through all kinds of things that our community has gone through. It takes a while, but I'm glad it's coming together. And, so we can all work together towards safety, because it cuts across everywhere. It cuts at every level: teachers, staff, students, community, etc. So thank you for doing this. And, I also ask through this medium, other community partners, Salem City Council, a county, or everything, because we want our children and the staff and the families to be safe throughout, everywhere. Community, school, everywhere, because all that is important for health, development, and learning. So thank you that we have taken this step. It's moving forward. We will get there, and it's good. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just thought of one more question, sorry. Along the lines of our board goals, the other thing under this number 3 was to deepen the board's understanding of restorative practices, including what that's looking like at current state. You know, we've heard a lot about the wonderful work, but the questions I think we all continue to get from the community and from parents, et cetera, is what does that look like as the information filters down? Is it filtering down, you know, well, or to the extent you want it to, so that restorative practices are truly implemented? And so I think it would be great also if that committee can wrap their arms around that work and help put that in context with the data as these reports come to the board. Does that make sense?
It does. Thank you.
I have a thought, and you know, I'll be part of this work as well, but I'd like to voice and get any input from fellow board members, if necessary, of just thinking about the impacts of policy. You know, we are a policy board, and so making room or a process in all of this to, here's what we're hearing, and whether that's, you know, policy recommendations. I just don't want that to get lost. I think as well, like as you know, we had an expulsion hearing today, and just those different processes of what are we missing at a systems level. So just want to really voice that, and however we can incorporate that as part of the work group, or for us to also think about as board members of the best process to bring that forward. Because I think those are all pieces of this. There's the data, and then there's the what do we do with it.
Thank you, Director Guzman-Ortiz. And as part of the committee, you'll be able to provide that input when we're at the retreat.
I'd just like to follow up with both the previous statements by the board members, and that is, was it a month and a half ago when we had the speaker that addressed all the administration, I think?
Duncan Andrade.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. And his take, and what I got from the questions from the administrative staff at that time, was that there wasn't a real clear definition of what restorative justice was, in concern with the way we were applying it and implementing it. And that was something that needed to be really followed up with the design, and that he presented at that time. And taking that into consideration, in what you mentioned earlier about the fluidity of that discipline and that policy, is that something we have to maybe take a second hard look at and see which is going to be best for our district?
I love that you brought that up, because in our planning, we're trying to develop a anchor document or a hook, whether that's a really thoughtful essay or article on what safe and welcoming schools look like. But I think perhaps being able to access Duncan Andrade's talk with the district and use a clip or something to that effect to start thinking about what that social justice piece looks like and what that inclusion piece looks like and how it weaves and how it's integrated into safe and welcoming schools. I think that might be a provocative way to create a dialogue amongst the group.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, that was part one. So the next one, I'm gonna go quickly, only because I have the expert behind me as well, and I want to give space for Director Bruey-Fink to be able to provide her expertise on where we're going with our curriculum adoption. So if you look right here onto the screen, what you'll see is a familiar slide that was used in January when we gave you our last update on the social studies and language arts curriculum adoption piece. At that time, we had just begun having meetings with our full committee. And now we've done that, and we've narrowed down the finalist for our curriculum for both social studies and language arts at the middle school level, and we're in the piloting phase. And so I'd just like to provide some information and updates on where we were with our selection and what's going on with the piloting, and then what our next steps are going to be with when schools are able to preview the materials. So, oops, can you go to the next slide? I forgot that I wasn't controlling the slide, so I changed it and didn't match what was up there. So at this point, what we've done is we determined what materials we wanted to pilot. We had about 6 or 7 curriculums that we were looking at. I think we had a few more for the language arts, and we're able to narrow those down into a couple. Then the committee determined what the parameters would be for how the schools were to pilot them. What was the minimum number of schools? How would they, what were the look fors when they were using the materials? And then they were going to collect data on that. And then from there, they would pilot the sites and then have some community engagement around, or pilot the materials and then have some community engagement around what those materials look like. So here are the materials that we piloted. For language arts, we had HMH and McGraw-Hill. Those emerged as the finalists. Both curricula were rated exemplary by ODE. Some major things that stood out was the differentiation in terms of addressing various student needs, whether students were coming to us having English language learning needs, whether students were on IEP or tag identified. There was scaffolding and differentiation that stood out for both of these curricula. Also strong cultural inclusivity, which is really important to us in Salem-Keizer, including that a lot of our text had a Spanish language options. But what we noticed is that for our dual language, we didn't have a fully robust Spanish language options, so that we are going to start a new process for our dual language schools so that they have language arts texts that are available in full Spanish. So that's something that we did notice in our process for language arts. If you want to go to the next slide, please. So here's where we are with our middle schools social studies adoption. We have different curricula for each grade level is the thing that you'll notice here. For sixth grade, we have which is focused on Western Hemisphere. We use TCI History Alive. You'll see a little asterisk there because originally History Alive in 2018 social studies standards for the state did not necessarily meet the state criteria, but what they did is they went back and took the state's feedback, revised the curricula, and then represented it to the state of Oregon. That hasn't been rated yet, but what our district did is we reviewed what our standards were, and we saw that they met what we were looking for in terms of social studies curriculum. And so that's why there's a little asterisk next to the History Alive. And then so for seventh grade, there's multiple texts. So we have the Savas text, McGraw-Hill, and you'll see History Alive there as well. For the eighth grade text, you'll see the National Geographic is new, which is in sixth and seventh. And then consistently, you'll see History Alive across all grade levels. So that one really stood out to our social studies staff. So if you go to the next, thank you, Aaron. So right here where it says middle school social studies pilots, all of our materials met the ODE criteria. History Alive, I mentioned this already, was scored by the committee, so it met the rubric for the new rubric for ODE after they revised it. All the materials are available in Spanish, both in print with online access, so those are bonuses. And consistent with the language arts curriculum, our staff the committee was impressed with the depth, the scaffolding, and also the cultural inclusivity for our middle school curriculum. All right, so what's next? We're piloting in several schools. I already noted what the piloting process is. We don't need to spend too much more time on here. Go to the next slide, please. Here are the schools that we're piloting at. So you'll see 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. There's a minimum of 3 schools. 7th grade has the least amount of schools with Houck, Leslie, and Waldo, but we have up to 8 schools piloting material. So we're going to get a lot of really good input and feedback for both language arts and social studies. And the next slide is the timeline for when we are going to do community engagement. This is when the materials will be available for community to preview. You'll see McKay, McNary, North, Sprague, and West all have dates between April 13th and April 11th to preview, and the locations are on the right-hand side at Stevens Middle School, Whitaker Middle School, Parrish Middle School, Judson, and Walker. And with that, I'd want to pass it back over to Director Brewy Fink, who's the Director of Curriculum Instruction for the secondary level, to fill in any gaps and add a little bit more detail for what I provided.
Good evening, Chairperson Carson Cottingham. Nice to see you. Good evening, Vice Chair people as well. Thank you for serving on this particular curriculum committee. We really appreciate your service and the input you've given our teachers. And of course, good evening, Superintendent Perry and other directors of the board. One other thing that I just wanted to add really quickly for our parents who might be watching tonight, community engagement sessions that you still see on the slide here. Parents can come to any feeder area that they wish. They don't need to come to the one that's specified just where their student goes to school. Any feeder area that's close to where our parents might be working or where they drop off their students after school, anybody can attend any of these sessions that they wish. All of these sessions will have both the language arts and the social studies materials there. We will have translation services as well, so we welcome all of our families who might speak languages other than English. And we will have staff there from the formal adoption committee as well as administrators who can answer all those detailed questions about why certain materials were chosen over others and details from the teaching perspective as well. Are there any questions from the board?
Questions? I can't tell if, does Director Hyan have any questions? Can't see her on there.
No question, thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, well, thank you so much, Director Breuer-Fink, Assistant Superintendent Udosnata. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
The only last, oh, no, never mind, stop. Pull slides down. I thought there was one more, but you're good. Yep. All right, we're going to turn it over now to the next item.
Okay, great. And the next item is public comment. All right, so we are at number 6 on our agenda. We are moving into public comment. We did not have very many people sign up tonight. I think we have 3 individuals who wanted to appear remotely via Zoom or call in via phone. We have, just so everyone is aware, we have made an in-person option available. We attempted to do it first earlier or whenever the snowstorm happened. And that meeting we had to postpone. So this meeting, when we posted it, there is that availability. If you would like to come and speak to the board during public comment in person, we have now made that available to the public. For today, we did not have anybody sign up to comment in person. Director Hyan.
Thank you. So I've had some people ask me if people are selected to come in for in-person, when would they expect to hear that? And if they were not selected, when would they hear that?
Yeah, absolutely. We would be notifying, or the district would be notifying the people that were selected so we haven't had very many people sign up. So, you know, we allotted 30 minutes, which is flexible. So if we had a lot of people sign up that wanted to come in person, we could extend that as a board. And we would want to make that decision based on how many people sign up. They would be notified on Monday. So the day before the meeting, more than 24 hours prior to the meeting, that they had been selected, and then we would provide instructions on which door to enter through and come in and provide the public comment during public comment period.
And then, sorry, I didn't ask this ahead, so you'd be prepared. Part B of that was, if they were not selected, would they be notified then, and would they have an opportunity then to send in official written testimony since they were not selected to come in person?
I think we can make that happen, yes.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
All right. And if anyone else has questions, please just reach out. We will again be posting all this information prior to our board meetings. Okay, each caller has 3 minutes. Electronic mechanisms are used for translation. I'm like, what am I trying to say there? Okay, so we have these listening devices for people, right? To if you want to tune into the Spanish language channel, just a reminder to turn it to channel, is it channel 1? Channel 3. So if you are an English speaker and somebody is speaking in Spanish, you can tune in to hear it translated to in the language of your choice. If you're on Zoom, you can select the button at the bottom that changes it to the language that you prefer to hear the comment in. Okay, there is a countdown timer that will appear on screen where it says Blue Sky Timer. The timer countdown counts down from 3 minutes. At 30 seconds, it turns from green to yellow, and at 1 second, it turns red and plays a short bell to signal that time is up. Please be mindful of your pace for our interpreters. The board did receive written comment ahead of the meeting, and the written comment is posted on the district website. Like I mentioned, 3 people have signed up, so we expect we'll be able to hear from everyone who signed up within the allotted 30 minutes. I will turn it over to our meeting hosts to call up the first commenter.
Our first commenter tonight will be joining by Zoom. Ron, you are welcome to turn on your camera and your microphone and proceed.
Did you say Ron? I'm sorry.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, sorry. Thank you for allowing me to speak, and congratulations to incoming Superintendent Castaneda. Well, I am pretty concerned that the superintendent search process was so closed off and private, despite the many times we keep hearing about elevating parent and public voices. I hope that you take advantage of your opportunity to reset the way that parents and the community are welcomed in this school district. I get that the board was following guidelines and recommendations, but even the Statesman Journal called out that it was unusual how this process went. So switching gears, I saw the letter from the union about teacher safety, and we keep hearing in the public about teachers and students being assaulted. But we also hear from the district about how things are fine and everything's being handled, and these can't both be true. I know from a mom of a 10-year-old in Salem whose son gets picked on every day, she says, and the most that the school officials will do is have a conversation with the offenders. In this case, restorative practices don't appear to be working. All they have to do is listen to another lecture, and they can go back to doing what it is they're doing. If you want safe and welcoming schools, you need to do better. Turning a blind eye or hiding the problems doesn't make them go away. If you're doing more than talking, or the school administrators are supposed to be doing more than talking, you need to make it clear what they can do. This 10-year-old hates school already, and the mother is at her wit's end. She thinks the principal and behavior specialists are getting sick of her, but her son still gets bullied and assaulted. Something's got to give, and it shouldn't be this innocent 10-year-old boy just trying to go to school. This mother doesn't know what else to do. I know that there are other people who don't know what else to do. So I hope that the board and the district can do a better job of communicating to the district officials, to the school officials, to the parents, and even the kids, what they can do if they're not getting their safety needs met. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ron. We appreciate it. Next caller.
Our next caller is Marilyn Ellis.
Go ahead, Marilyn.
Thank you. Good evening, Chairperson Carson Cottingham, Vice Chairs, Directors, and Superintendent Perry. My name is Marilyn Ellis, and I am the SKEA Vice President. I received a phone call from a teacher this morning that left me with tears in my eyes at the end of our conversation. The teacher had reached the end of her rope. She's overwhelmed with stress and pressure to produce learning gains in students who aren't where we would expect them to be. She's tired of feeling like a failure and being criticized for not working miracles. She's been injured by a student and often protects others by allowing her body to be used as a punching bag. She's not sleeping well. She can't find joy in her life. She's depressed and wants to quit. I wish I could say this is the only such call I've received this year, but it's not. I've received dozens. And none of us should be surprised. A RAND survey conducted in 2022 finds that teachers report frequent job-related stress at twice the rate of the general population of working adults. They are also more likely to say they've experienced symptoms of depression. The most significant contributors to teacher stress include managing student behavior, taking on extra work due to staffing shortages, supporting student behavior and mental health, and lack of time to adequately complete their necessary job tasks. None of this information should be surprising. It's been covered widely in the media. SKEA has raised these concerns on multiple occasions, and staff themselves have spoken up. Henry David Thoreau said, "It takes two people to speak the truth, one to speak and another to hear." We are and have been speaking. We now need you to hear, and we need you to help. Teachers and other licensed staff need time, support, and resources. Without more of each of these, we will continue to lose teachers. A recent American Psychological Association task force report found that nearly half of the teachers surveyed expressed a desire or plan to quit, to leave the profession. We, the licensed staff of Salem-Keizer, need you, our school board, to ask our district leaders what they are doing to provide time, support, and resources. Let me repeat those three important words: time, support, and resources. We encourage our district leaders and school board directors to speak directly to the people doing the most critical work, teachers and support staff in our classrooms. Not just the principals who may feel the need to paint a rosy picture, but the teachers who face the hardest job in education day in and day out. Talk to our teachers and listen to our members. Thank you.
Thank you, Marlene and SKEA, for being here. We appreciate you. Next caller.
Our third caller has not joined the meeting.
Okay. Well, then that concludes public comment this evening. Let's go ahead and take a break. It is 7:06 now. Let's come back at 7:15. Thank you. Okay, we are back. That takes us to number 7, our action items. And so I would like to ask Superintendent Perry if there's a review for this item, the integrated application.
All right, you have just one action item tonight, and Dr. West is going to do the review of this item. This is your second reading, so you've seen it, well, you've heard about it since August. Here we are, a full year's time. And then you've seen it once, and then there's been a couple modifications since we last met. And then after this, because we have the outcomes identified, we'll start then the work around longitudinal growth targets and your results policy as well. So with that, Dr. West, could you highlight this agenda item for us?
Thank you, Superintendent Perry, Chair Carson Cottingham, directors. Good to see you this evening. So as Superintendent Perry said, you saw this item several weeks ago. We came to you and presented it to you as a draft. We did at that time mention that we would likely be coming back with changes because we were still collecting feedback. We did make a couple of shifts in the budget. As a reminder, the budget for the integrated plan is posted online with the board packet, along with the narrative under the supplemental materials section, so you can access it there. What I want to note about the change that's important for you if you're looking at the budget and for others in the public who are looking at the budget is that we learned between our last meeting and this one that the CSI, TSI monies for fiscal year 25, so that's school year 24-25, are undetermined at this time. So that means that we have to put a 0 into that budget field. We had 1.8 million planned to expend there. In order to make that adjustment, we moved those expenditures into SIA. They're very important expenditures for us. One of our key strategies is third grade reading. And those CSI TS monies, for example, were allowing us to fund our reading specialists at the elementary level. So that was a strategy that we felt like we need to make sure that this is sustainable into the future. So we moved that into SIA. What you'll notice as you look at the budget adjustments is that in order to accommodate that, we eliminated a couple of activities out of fiscal year 25, again, that's school year 24-25, that we think we can accomplish in fiscal year 24. An example of that is in fiscal year 24, we said we would like to be able to establish a firm and sustainable monitoring system of the outcomes that we're striving for. We think we can get that done in a calendar year. So if we can get that done in a calendar year, we won't need those resources into fiscal year 25. So we made those adjustments to account for the 1.8 million that at this time is undetermined. We do think those monies will be available, but we can't plan for them until ODE tells us that they are available. So that's the adjustment that you'll see in the budget. The other thing to point out is once the integrated plan is actually approved, there are some next steps. Those next steps for us as a district look like this. We need to broadly communicate internally and externally to the organization and the community what the plan is and what they can expect from us as a district in terms of implementing that plan. We did make commitments to all of our different engagement groups that we would get back to them and tell them what we did with their feedback and how it informed the plan. We need to follow through on that commitment. The other thing that we need to do is make sure that our KPIs, which you're all familiar with, are well aligned to the new integrated plan. So we'll spend a little bit of time making sure that those KPIs, which are our early indicators of progress, will help us determine if we're heading in the right track. So we'll do that work and we'll come back to you with that. And then we'll also establish a monitoring cadence that will allow us to bring that information into the board. So as Superintendent Perry said, we're bringing this back to you for a second read and for an action. And with that, I will turn it back to Superintendent Perry and Chair Carson Cottingham.
Thank you.
Do you want to start with an action item and then go to questions? Do you want to do questions first? I mean,
you mean a motion?
A motion,
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
Action item. Confusing.
Sure. I would accept a motion.
I move that we approve the integrated application and budget for school year 23-25.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Director Hyen. And now we'll ask for discussion. Any discussion on this item? While people are thinking, I'll just say thank you to the district, to Director West and others. I know that an enormous amount of work went into this process, which I know, OD is trying to make it easier. I think ultimately it will be, but I know when you're just starting in a new process, it can be really labor intensive. And I know the whole executive team, helped with this is my understanding. And I just appreciate your leadership, Dr. West, and getting us to this point tonight.
You're welcome.
I have a question.
Director Avila.
Thank you. In the terms of supporting our special education staff to improve the instruction and reduce administrative staff, what investments are really geared and designed to help train and professional development for our staff in special education?
Great question. Superintendent Perry.
You want to start?
Yeah, I'll get us started. So one of the positions that this integrated plan is funding is a district mentor specific to special education staff. So as a reminder, we do have some individuals that are housed at the district level that lean into school environments to provide specific support to educators and the role that they perform. We realized several years ago that we needed a specialization in regard to the support that our special education teachers receive. There's great deal of overlap between what a third grade teacher does, for example, and what an LRC teacher does, but there's just enough difference that we needed that high degree of specialization. So the integrated plan supports a role like that. The integrated plan also supports some additional clerical staff so that some of the workload that is actually quite high and can be very labor intensive at points of the year is mitigated for our special education teachers. If anyone in this room has ever had to prepare an IEP or prepare an annual progress report for a student that is being served with an IEP, it is very labor intensive. So to be able to provide some additional clerical support for that function relieves some of the pressure on our special education teachers so they can focus on what matters, which is supporting the students directly. Does that answer your question?
It does. And then how about providing support, like an IA support, and then also the instruction in the trainings that our educators need and the tactics of supporting our special education students?
Mm-hmm.
Let me start on that. So a couple things to remember is one is this is one pot of money. So there's Gen Fund, and there's also the federal IDEA. So you've got IDEA, Gen Fund, and then this strategy under this grant funded with this integrated application. And so the question is a big one. But some of our self-contained classrooms have instructional assistants in them. Most do. Some of our LRC classrooms have instructional assistants in them. So that's the short answer to the instructional assistant question. For professional development, there's probably not ever enough time to do enough. One of the key areas we really watch is especially our educators that have gone through that special ed cohort, because sometimes they're being placed in classrooms before they've fully had a student teaching experience. So that's especially where we pair a mentor. And then for our behavior classrooms, MANT. And then also this year, we're going classroom by classroom with the highest need for the UCARO training, which is trauma-informed de-escalation training along with MAT. So every area gets something a little different. There's probably never enough. And the newer people are in the profession, the more they need, and the more time they need in classrooms as well. We have started, last year we started a summer institute with our special education teachers. I think we did 2 days of a summer institute. We'll do that again next year. We're trying to make the summer institute time more of a choose your own adventure so it can be more differentiated to what people need. And then we're talking next year with Classified around some ongoing required training at entry, especially with that UCARO and that trauma-informed before they step foot, which delays getting them into classrooms by a few days. So that's a long answer, and those are all funded in different places in different ways, not just within the integrated application.
Okay. Thank you.
What about the dual language students? Is there any special training for teachers to accommodate those students?
There's a ton. So we have a whole strategy within the integrated plan devoted just to supporting two-way immersion, dual language instruction. And that it does include working with consultants to make sure that our staff have access to the best evidence-based instructional practices. It includes bringing in resources that are well-developed and actually translated in an idiomatic way rather than a straight translation, so that students are reading in a natural language in our dual language classrooms. It includes tremendous support to grow this program from the number of schools that we have now, so that every feeder system eventually will have a dual language strand that students can access. We're very committed to this strategy, and it's embedded within the entire plan.
And you can see in the budget the numbers of FTE per year, right, that you're dedicating to that strategy.
Yes, that's correct. Again, as a
Exciting.
reminder, the budget's hard to read, so look at the code tab so you can figure out what you're seeing, or ask. We're happy to help you with it.
Yeah, it's very impressive. All right. Any other comment?
I just want to, I said this last time and I will again, and I heard the explanation behind the stretch targets and the baseline targets, and there is an uneasy feeling within me to move forward a baseline target of 40% when it comes to, you know, like reading targets. So I just want to express that. I know, I hope that we are continuously working for that 100%. There's just this uneasiness of seeing those, what are low numbers. I mean, we're talking about less than 50%. Just wanted to voice that, honestly.
Also, remember on the longitudinal growth targets, we'll submit the application and we'll submit it this month, because it has to be submitted this month. And then we enter into that interactive process around the long-range growth targets with ODE. And that they will, I think those that you're looking at, as I'm looking over your shoulder for a minute, are actually some of the initial draft that ODE has sent our way to. But we'll enter into that sort of interactive process with the Department of Ed. And these will also come back to you for approval. So once we do the interactive process, then they'll come back to you for approval. And you're right on the verge of lining up everything, the strategic plan, your strategic goals, the results policy, your KPIs, your superintendent evaluation. It should all be aligned by the time we get to July. So it's a really important, it's an important point. And your approval tonight, they still will change. Yeah, and I appreciate that, because we feel the exact same way about that.
Okay, that, I would ask for the vote. So all members in favor of approving the integrated application and budget for school years 23-25, say aye and raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, it's unanimous. It has passed. Thank you, everyone. All right, that takes us to our consent calendar. First, I'd like to ask Superintendent Perry if she wishes to review any of the items in the consent calendar.
Yeah, I just want to note that this is our annual renewal of license contracts. And so this happens every March. In the supplemental information that was posted online tonight on the website, you have both the regular personnel action, the one you see every month, and then you have this additional personnel action that is this renewal process we go through every year at this time. So that's the addition to the consent calendar at this time.
Thank you. Does any board member want to pull an item from the consent calendar? Okay, hearing none, I would take a motion.
I move that we approve the consent calendar.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor of approving the consent calendar, say aye and raise your hand.
Aye.
Okay. That's an aye. Okay. Sorry, I looked down too late, Director Chandra. Great. Okay, it's unanimous. The consent agenda is approved, or calendar is approved. Takes us to number 9 on our agenda, readings and discussion. I'm going to turn it back to Superintendent Perry for a review of this item.
All right, thank you. You've been hearing also about the health adoption for quite a while, just like you're hearing now about the secondary the middle school language arts social studies adoption. We're trying to bring you information every single time. We have now gone through the process, and this is the first reading for the elementary health curriculum adoption. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Assistant Superintendent Cobb to review this item.
Thank you, Superintendent Perry. Good evening, Chairperson Carson Cunningham, board members, Superintendent Perry, and student advisors. Like Superintendent Perry said, I'm here to tell you about the end of that process. And so this is the first reading of our findings and the recommendations of the steering committee. So I want to start with helping us get back to why did we start this process and why did we start the conversation around adopting a health curriculum. We had legislation that changed in 2015 where we were asked as schools to provide a minimum of 4 instructional sessions on sexual abuse prevention for grades K through 12. The health adoption, I'll clarify that we are considering right now is K-5. The 6-12 part of it will come in the next couple of years. Then we had the Oregon Board of Education that passed a change around human sexuality, which required schools also to teach comprehensive, age-appropriate sexual education. And then after that, in 2016, the Oregon Health Standards, so the standards that teachers are required to teach, changed to meet the needs and to follow reflect the laws and the change in the law. Another important point here is that we had the Great Body Shop as our adopted curriculum from 2006. And so even though it's in the schools, it's outdated. The standards that are now in the law are not covered by the curriculum that is existent in our schools. Schools have implemented the lessons by using some free resources, but really in summer of 2021, the curriculum department at the elementary level said we really need to provide teachers with guidance. And let's start looking at a curriculum that will meet the needs. So we went out to ODE and we looked at the curriculums that they approved. And for us, as you know, it is really important that we have materials in both English and Spanish. More languages always welcome, but at least those 2 languages as a base, as a minimum. And so the the Great Body Shop is the curriculum that we decided to pilot. Next slide, please. So we engaged in the process that started again in summer, and we developed a timeline. As part of that timeline, an important component was to select a steering committee. And in that steering committee, we wanted representation from all different groups in the community, starting with parents. We wanted parent voice, and we wanted them to see the materials and to give us feedback on the process. So we have parents in the committee. We have doctors from Keizer Permanente, one of our important partners. We have school psychologists. We have counselors. We have teachers. We have principals. We have Director Karina Guzman as representative of the board. And they met through the process to look at the steps and to get updates on what was happening in the schools. We identified 7 pilot schools at the elementary level, and we were really thoughtful around the location of the schools so that we could cover all areas in a high socioeconomic status, and schools that were Title I, and schools that have biliteracy programs and dual language programs, so we could get good feedback from all members of the demographics that our students represent. We had professional development for the pilot schools that was led by the curriculum team. We also developed surveys because we wanted to know what teachers thought of the curriculum. We wanted to know what parents thought of the curriculum. And then we also opened it up for the community. We also brought you updates through the process. I think 4 or 5 times we were here, and those dates are listed in your board plate. And then we had informational meetings for staff, parents, and community. And we made a few changes that were important for us so that we could match, for example, an opportunity for parents to hear about these when they were in schools during conferences, because it was a great time when parents were already coming into school. So then the principals of pilot schools did a special session during conferences so parents could just come in and ask any questions that they had. We opened schools in different places in the city for people to come in and look at the materials, ask questions. We had experts there, we had principals there, we had cabinet members there to answer any questions for parents. And I think what we heard from families and from community at large was that they appreciated the opportunity to just look through the materials. There were a lot of things that people heard, but seeing it and reading through it and then seeing what are some things that parents could opt out of was important for them. Next slide, please. So Great Body Shop, again, provided training at the schools. For the schools that were doing the pilot, teachers had the ability to share the classroom letters with parents and then also to give them online access so parents could just go through and browse through some of the lessons that we couldn't cover because we were only doing the pilot from October until February. But they were able to access all the lessons that take the year by grade level if they wanted to. And then we did evaluation surveys that were given to the teachers so that they could tell us, was this easy to teach? Are the materials easy to follow? Are they helpful? How are the materials that go home to families? What feedback have you heard from families about it? Then I want to tell you a little bit about the feedback we got from schools. And the majority of the feedback was fair to good in all of these areas. Alignment, K-5, instructional supports. There was just tons of resources online and materials that are that we can send home so families can explore the specific topics a little bit more if they want to. Responsive to the needs of our community, and we thought the updates had equity in mind, and they were representative of the communities that we serve. Also that teachers were able to see progress in students. Students were talking about it, they were asking great questions, and then parents also called and provided good feedback for teachers around the progress of their students. And then home connection. I think that's one of the pieces that we appreciate most about the curriculum, because there's just a lot, again, of resources that can be sent home, and the materials for parents and for students are all in English and in Spanish. Some just important feedback that was more individual that some teachers shared is that, again, those student materials are in English and in Spanish, and that in Spanish they are well-written, they're not translated, they're just, responsive to the needs of our community. And then again, the easy access for families to process the information that is sent home just great activities and great ideas for families, and then several that are in one lesson. Parents get to choose a couple of activities to do at home. Next, thank you. And then some concerns, if student examples are not current, there were some lessons that had like tube television, and kids were like, what is that? So, that was interesting. So a little more technology maybe is a feedback that we gave the curriculum. And then the lesson length. The curriculum states that it's a 45-minute lesson, but our teachers really found that it's more like an hour. And this could be also because we didn't explore maybe all of the things that are online. So maybe if we adopted, and when we adopted, then we'll be able to explore to figure out a scope and sequence that makes sense for the limited time sometimes that teachers have to teach these lessons. And then parent and community feedback. Most respondents had a positive view of the curriculum, and I got to tell you, I went to 3 of the sessions with families, and parents came in with lots of great questions, and we had the books, we had the teacher materials, we had the manuals, we had the materials that go home, and they said, oh, okay, this is okay, and then can I opt out of that, and can I opt into that, and I want to, what are the rules around these, and they walked away understanding it in a better way. I think there was a lot of anxiety maybe around these, but as we developed the system for allowing parent and community voice, and as we opened our doors for them to see it, then we received good feedback on that. I do have to say, I wish we had more participation. We had, good numbers, but we were open at Library Media for about a week. And I don't know that we had, 50 people. So we could have had a lot more, but. And then, what was that last thing, Erin? Oh, yeah, so thank you. And then materials were age appropriate for our student population. Thank you, Erin. So here is the recommendation. The steering committee recommended to you that we adopt the curriculum for the K-5 level, but they do have some additional considerations that they want you and us to consider. And these 4 are something that we would have to work through. Proposed professional development and trainings for staff. So there, again, because there's so much material available in the curriculum, they want us to sort through it a little bit so we can find the lessons that will be 45 minutes, the activities that will be, so doing a little bit more work from the curriculum and instruction department to process this information so we don't give all these stuff to teachers without a little bit of work on our part. Consideration for the specific instructional time to make the curriculum more manageable because of the length. The adaptation of the instructional scripts to support other languages. There were some, just hopes that we can have other languages represented in the material. And in these one bullet too, some of our bilingual teachers said it's great that we have the parent materials and the student materials in Spanish, but still some of my guidelines in the teacher manual are in English. And so, they do have to do a little bit of work to translate some of those resources. And so that's something that we are providing as feedback to the curriculum. And then the question that we always have, how effective is this in teaching our kids? So the curriculum has an evaluation tool and monitoring system, and so we would consider implementing that. I think that's my last slide, so I'll take any questions before I pass it back to you.
Thank you, Assistant Superintendent Cobb. So this would be a first reading, and then you would ask that this comes back to the board for action in April, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Osvaldo, go ahead.
Thank you, Assistant Superintendent Cobb. I liked the feedback was that it's age appropriate for our student population, but you had mentioned earlier, you stated that parents that went in there had heard things. Can you elaborate on what they heard and what was disposed?
I think there are lessons. I'm looking at a couple examples that I brought. So there's an objective that speaks about identifying human reproductive systems, including reproductive anatomy and function. And so in the actual lesson, they talk about private parts, safety, unsafe situations, identifying moments when students have to ask for help. And these are taught through stories. And when families looked through some of these, they were really, looking at a kindergarten story about these. It made parents feel like, okay, this is what I would say to my 5-year-old. So there was nothing in there, not really specifics, but just they felt reassured when they saw the materials and the language that is used in the materials and the magazines that go home with parents. And I think what parents provided most feedback about that they liked is that all the lessons have a companion that goes home to the parents. So everything that the teacher shared at school, then parents have access to so that they can process it with their student at home.
Well, thank you for providing that opportunity for parents to feel, reassured, and they got to see and evaluate it themselves and take away from those myths or whatever might be going on in the community. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I like to, piggyback on that a little bit, the opportunity for them to opt out. If there was something that they saw that, didn't meet whatever religious background, whatever their feelings were about certain incidents or curriculum, that they could opt out.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is that this is a K-5 proposal.
Yes.
Probably a lot of the complaints that we hear and stuff that has come through is at the high school level. So is there anything that we would have in future that we're looking at that would address those issues?
Yes, so let me go by parts, because you mentioned something really important, and is the what parents can opt out of. And something that in this process really helped us too in knowing when to, we made some changes through the process so that we could give parents more opportunity to know what was going on. I'll give you an example. Usually we send letters home telling parents this is the law around sexual education, and this is what your student is going to hear and learn about at school, and here are the lessons, and we just kind of list them. This year we sent that letter close to conferences so that parents could, and the teachers could talk to parents about these lessons and answer any questions. The other thing that I really love that the curriculum department did is that they added QR codes so parents could just access easily the actual lesson, and they would just see, this is exactly what the teacher is going to go over with my student. So then parents would say, I want to, out of these 4 sessions, I want to opt out of 1 because these other 3 are okay. I'm okay with that. So there was, in the way in which we communicated that, I think parents felt like we just provided more information than we have before. So this was also a great opportunity for us to learn how to do that better. And then for the secondary level, we are going to engage in that process in 2024, 25, 26, because they have, like Assistant Superintendent Udo Senata shared today, they have social studies and language arts coming up, and so then they'll engage in the health adoption right after. So you'll get lots of information, and again, opportunities for parents to see the materials, to see the books, exactly what is it that teachers are going to teach, and provide feedback.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Director Hyan?
Thank you. Unfortunately, Olga, you kept cutting in and out, so I didn't hear all your response. I think I heard what I needed to hear, but I just want to verify that. In the past, I've heard parents have issues when they are not notified in a timely manner as to what is coming, or only a few words are used to describe, and so they don't really understand the actual content of what's coming up that they may not be interested in their child participating in. But I think the parts I did hear you say was that this is going to be really clear to parents, and they're going to be able to know completely ahead of time what their child will be taught so they can opt them out if they choose. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. I'm sorry, I was cutting out. The letters will have QR codes, and even if parents have an issue with accessing those QR codes, we can make those lessons available because we know parents just want to see and they want to read the language and they want to understand exactly what the standard is. And so that's great. Having this pilot helped us just refine our process so we can be really clear and transparent with everything we're doing at the school. And not that we were not doing that before, but we just learned how to do it better and how to provide more information.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay.
I have a super basic question. The curriculum, the handouts that go to parents, I know that in the materials that were provided, that the committee got to review were like super nice and colorful. And so, they're just easy to engage with because of that. So I'm kind of wondering, will those materials be accessible to families? And I'm sure this is like a curriculum and budget question, or will they just be photocopied?
No, the magazines are the ones you saw. They're colorful and they're fun and the activities are super engaging for the families. Again, teachers didn't get to see it all because we had the limitation of time, but we know that the curriculum just offers a lot of those. And so, yes, we will buy them, and that's part of the investment that the district would be doing.
Thank you. They're just easier to interact with, more engaging than I know sometimes photocopies are the way we have to go, but appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Chair, and thanks, Deputy Superintendent. For these children who are doing EDGE or who may want to advance sooner or would need more time, does this curriculum allow that flexibility that somebody wants to get ahead or want to read more about certain topic? Or can they get ahead, or can they work on their own speed and take a little bit more time to catch up? And how are we going to do for the EDGE students? How is that going to be?
Thank you. So we would develop a scope and sequence that teachers would follow so that we can guarantee that all the standards K-5 are taught and covered. If a student needs additional supports, we would do the same thing that we do for all of our content areas, which is differentiation. If a parent wants to maybe preview the next lesson, I think teachers are always open to having those conversations. If a student needed additional support and resources, we have counselors that do a great job at supporting with differentiation. And then, what was your second question? I missed it.
For EDGE student, that hybrid
yes.
program,
Thank
EDGE
you.
student.
Yes, that was really important for us to have EDGE be one of the pilot schools. So we piloted it at EDGE so that we knew how did it work online, and was it easy for parents to access the materials? And so we got great feedback from them to implement it too.
Can I just ask a quick follow-up question? How much does it cover on mental health and substance use issues coming up very early, by age 9 or so? How much does it cover about prevention of that?
I don't know that it has a lot of that. I know that it has nutrition and healthy habits, but I think maybe alcoholism and abuse of drugs is something that will come up later in the curriculum for the middle school levels. I think there's some unhealthy habits that cover some of that, but and I can find out more specifics on when in the curriculum that's covered.
Does it cover any topics on recognizing depression, anxiety, and all the other emotional, mental health problems that we see in little kids?
Yes, yes, it has. I don't know the specific lessons, but I know that it's part of the curriculum.
Including suicide prevention.
I don't know specifically suicide prevention, but I would assume yes, but I can get more information on that. Yeah.
Okay, so before the next board meeting, also encourage all directors to reach out so we're all ready to go.
Yes, and if I may say, we are happy to host you if you want to come in and just take a look at the curriculum department. Director Teresa Tolento and Deb Kruger, who's one of our program associates who has been an incredible lead for this effort, will be happy to just show you the materials and answer any questions that you have.
So if you do want that set up, shoot Alice or I an email, and if you had questions, shoot Alice or I an email, and we'll get them to
Yep.
Assistant Superintendent Cobb, and we'll definitely set up times to come view materials if you're interested.
Thank you for that. Okay, that takes us to number 10, our information and standard reports. Is there anything you want to highlight, Superintendent Perry, in these standard reports this evening?
Just two things. The meeting schedule, we've layered on the budget committee pre-meetings now into those schedules. You should have those on your calendars. And also the CBOC report is in the packet, so that's your quarterly report on the bond projects. We are entering our last summer to start bond projects. We will need to enter into facilities planning early next year, I think, is where Bob is thinking, school year. And we are also seeing a really large escalation of costs and delays in projects. Even though the transportation center is functioning now, there's still pieces of the transportation center that aren't finished because we're waiting on parts and things. So just know all of the issues with escalation of cost and supply chain are affecting the bond projects. And we will meet all the promises of the bond, but we won't have additional like repair and renovation dollars as a result of that.
Can you say more about facilities planning in the fall? What does that entail,
Yeah.
please?
So you are required by statute to complete a long-range facilities plan every 10 years. And I think our last one was completed in about 2016. And then so it is time to start that again. We're beginning some of those pieces of collection from experts, so like an HVAC assessment and things like that. We're starting to gear up with professionals to begin feeding that work. What you'll do is we will internally begin getting set up for long-range facilities planning. You'll want to convene a facilities committee. You'll need to decide whether you want that to be a board committee or a district committee. You'll get a long-range facility plan draft. Sounds big, doesn't it? Big notebook. They'll have gone through every one of our buildings. And then you will, as the committee, will look at that and bring a long-range facilities plan to the board. The work just never stops.
Just when you think you're done.
Just when you think you've done a big check mark around a superintendent hire. Nope, the work doesn't stop. Yep, you're welcome.
Okay, that takes us to board reports. Let's just go ahead and go from this side of the dais down. Student Advisor McDonald.
Thank you, Chair Carson Cottingham. I don't have a ton to say. That's probably some measure of good news. But I just want to give a shout out to all of our winter sports at West, but especially the girls basketball team who got 6th place overall in the state for 6A, which is a pretty big deal. I know we have a theater production coming up. We have spring sports in full swing. I'm drawing a blank on any other major events, but I know there are ones, and I think things are going pretty smoothly, at least at my school. And that's kind of it. Oh, we had a district equity advisory group meeting recently at South. It went really well. We got to hear from the City Club, and we discussed safety as it related to school dances. So Cynthia's not here, but we had a really great conversation with her, and it was a great meeting.
More specifically, we talked about being able to prevent sexual abuse in relationships, and then also school dances and within school dances. I want to give a shout out, and before I do that shout out, I'm going to ask her last name. I want to give a shout out to Shelby Rose Long, who's from the West Salem cheer team, who won a scholarship at Cheer State. And I also want to give a shout out to the Sprague and West cheer teams because they both made it to state for cheer. So go cheer! I also want to shout out the South and Sprague Unified classes. Recently, they had a tournament for basketball, and South won, but they both played really well and did a great job. I'd also like to say that South's show that they put on, A Simpler Time, in their Black Box Theater was really good, and for everybody who got to go to it, you should be very happy that you got to go to it and go to more theater productions in Salem-Keizer. And lastly, I would like to say good luck to Salem-Keizer's speech and debate kids because we have districts coming up, and I know we have speech and debate teams at McKay, South, and Sprague. And I also want to say congratulations to speechies who have already auto-qualified to state. So go speech and debate, woo!
I forgot. Thanks. Sorry, I forgot a couple things. I want to shout out to the robotics team. We have one robotics team who made it to Worlds. And then the West Salem Youth and Government Club and the West Salem delegation got honored with outstanding delegation this year. So,
Awesome. Bob?
I just want to share, we went through the process of selecting the new superintendent, and it was, I think, a tribute to the board members here who worked hard on it and came up with an outstanding candidate, and I think that was a real tribute to the staff or to the board. And also, I just want to again compliment on what the students are saying. So often we hear the negative, but there are a lot of great things going on in the school system, and you just need to talk to or read about how we do on state level competitions. It's outstanding.
Can I add off of that? Sorry.
Sure.
And more importantly, go and support us.
Well, I'm going to talk about something super exciting, and that's the SCATS Metropolitan Transit Safety Action Plan. Woo! Yeah, so the Salem-Keizer Area Transportation Committee. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. This is about the safety of our people, okay? So we have launched a open house online survey to get feedback from the community to hear about the areas that you are most concerned about here in the Salem-Keizer area around safety, on how safe you feel walking in the sidewalks, driving your car, riding a bike, or riding the bus. We have analyses that on average there's over 3,700 crashes per year within the Salem-Keizer area, and each year these crashes result in over 3,000 injuries, 100 serious injuries, and 18 fatalities. And then on average, 150 of these crashes involve a bicyclist or a pedestrian, which result in 6 fatalities and 12 serious injuries each year. So you can go online to the Mid-Willamette Valley Council of Governments website, and it's at the top. There's a link to go into the open house and fill out the survey. There's even a little map of Salem-Keizer where you can mark specifically the areas that you think are of biggest concern. And yeah, we just really need your feedback to be able to make a plan to make our streets and sidewalks safer for everyone. Thank you.
Can I add one more thing? Also, I want to give a shout out to the dual language. I had the opportunity to visit Washington Elementary and see their program, and it has grown by leaps and bounds. I remember as I was there, I was mentioned that I had been the principal there 20 years ago. but anything that was there then is superior to today. And then also got to sit in with the ESL committee for secondary students, and it's a work in progress, but very dedicated people and things. As I've talked with Olga, and that we do need to continue to see what's the best method of transitioning those students with their dual language programs into the upper grade students.
Director Guzman-Ortiz? I'm going to pass for now. Okay. Director Avila?
Yeah, I got to do a visit and a tour to Barbara Roberts and I forget the other school.
It's all under Roberts. You're doing great.
It's all under Roberts.
Early college
high school.
Roberts, teen parent.
Teen parent program.
Roberts. It's you're solid.
Alternative education, all of it.
Yeah, it was early college, high school. It was amazing. We we got paired up in different groups, and the students of 3, they got to give us a tour, and they did an amazing job. I think the preparation, the skills, the confidence that the school has been giving them, their learning has just allowed them to shine, come out of their shells, as some of the students shared. And the place is amazing, and even considering that as an option for my daughter who's really college bound. So really appreciate to the staff and the administrators at the Early College, High School, and Roberts. So for doing what they do, we'll continue to support them. And so thank you.
Thank you. Director Chandragiri?
Thank you very much. So glad to hear all the nice things going on. I really appreciate being invited to Wright Elementary School, where the 5th graders sat, and we shared about how to become a psychiatrist and having, in different countries, how do you go to college. They had 28 questions in 1 hour. And so 28 questions, everything from what does it take, how do you study, and what does it take, how much do you get salary, and everything else. So it was a good question. I tell you, that was the best question. So it was wonderful. And many raised their hand that they want to be psychiatrists and take my job. So that is the most reassuring part of that thing. And we ended with practicing using a little bell and how to kind of practice belly breathing and bring down stress. We talked about it. So I really appreciate that opportunity. It's beautiful. And these kids are just amazing. They had all kinds of questions about what type of psychiatry and what do you do. And so that was wonderful. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay, welcome. Director Hyen?
Yes, thank you. So I got to do what I enjoy doing the most, which is listen to parents and help give them opinion and guidance on how to move forward if they have some issues for their students. And then also for the first time, I don't know if all board members are getting this, but I was getting an email from one of the state reps, and they do a Sunday night talk about all the education bills or bills that will affect the school districts. And so I finally attended this last Sunday, and it was overwhelming. The amount of stuff and the amount of information. I finally gave up on taking notes. I hope to attend again this Sunday, and but there's a lot of things out there that are going to affect our districts.
That's good.
Thank you. Director Guzman-Ortiz?
We got present information about the adoption curriculum today, so I'm not going to recap on any of that. But I wanted to just do a public shout out for Student Advisor McDonald and your participation in the superintendent search, and for being such an amazing steward and messenger for either district, for students, for educators. We do this work for students like yourself and Raylan on the board, and it's just beautiful to, have had you as part of the process. I will say we heard, that this was the first even for our consultants, so we learned a lot. Hopefully, I was reminded earlier, maybe some point last week when we were speaking about appointing students to the board, and a comment that I remember I made this comment, but about hoping that it was a reciprocal learning opportunity, for us and for the student advisors, and I hope that to some extent that has been the case. But more than anything, just really appreciate your involvement and your dedication. And I mean, you were there long Saturdays and weekends. So just want to thank you.
Here, here.
Madam Chair, I'd like to second that. I thought he was absolutely amazing, and the questions he asked were very thoughtful, and he really brought a lot to the group, and I really do appreciate him. He's going to go far.
Yes. Thank you so much. It was amazing.
And can I add, anytime I was trying to get information, not in a wrong way from either of these two, but when we were setting up the press release and stuff, they were like, is it okay if I talk to you? Because I don't want to, I signed this confident. So they were the most confidential in both of them, which I was only trying to help navigate the communication process once it was. So I never asked an inappropriate question today.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Karina. I feel like it's been a really long time since we did board reports.
I know.
If I'm remembering. So, do you want to go?
Just a quick shout out. I did attend a Juntos programming over at West Salem High School program to outreach to Spanish-speaking parents and students, really prepare them for graduation requirements, understanding, and college going and preparation. I know we piloted it with the West Salem High School and got to attend a session, really well attended, parents, amazing questions. I think it can do wonders in being able to provide the services to help demystify I think the cultural aspects of what Latino parents have is, let's get them to go to work to help provide and support the families. But this really encourages them, the next step, looking beyond that, to really support our families by getting that education, by getting those professional degrees or titles. So really, I was really thrilled to be there. And that was like you're saying, it's probably more than a month ago, 2 months ago.
Yeah. So I think, it was quite a while ago now, but Director Hinojos Presi and I both went to the Mid-Willamette Valley Council of Governments annual meeting and dinner. And so we represented the school district there, where we got to hear from our new Congresswoman, Andrea Salinas, and hear all about everything the COG's been doing for the communities in the Mid-Valley. That was wonderful. I wanted to make everyone aware that the Oregon Battle of the Books regional competitions are this weekend. This is something that I just started learning about because my kiddo is doing it. But it is just such a fantastic opportunity for kids starting really young to get a list of books. They can split up the books amongst their team. And then they get, I think it's like 16 to 20 questions around, and it's just been so fun, and I'm excited to see where all the Salem-Keizer kiddos go in that competition. We had the Crystal Apple Awards. I don't think if we've had a board report since then, but that was just one of the most phenomenal events I think I've ever been to, and so huge shout out to the Chambers of Commerce for Salem-Keizer and the Planning Committee, which included people in the district and others I probably am not even aware of. But the event was amazing. It was so fun to honor. I mean, it was close to 90, I think, nominees, and just a full celebration of accomplishments of educators across the district. And it wasn't just limited to Salem-Keizer, but some of the other schools. And so it was just really wonderful. Come together and focus on appreciation for educators. So thank you to the community for pulling that together. So the work that Director Hinojos Presi, Director Avila, and I do for the OSBA Legislative Policy Committee. Superintendent Perry mentioned that this work is really critical right now to make sure that we get, a fully funded budget, basically moving forward. And so we did put an event on at CTEC that I don't think we've talked about, but if we have, I'll just mention it again. But we invited a wide array of legislators from our area, a totally bipartisan event where we had tables available for the legislators to speak with key leaders in our district about a full range of important topics, ranging from what we're doing for our kids with disabilities to career technical education. Superintendent Perry gave a wonderful overview of kind of what the budget is looking like, what we're going to need to be successful, and just we had several legislators in attendance, a lot of legislative staff in attendance, and we were able to equip them with one-pagers on those key topics. And then now, as the co-chair's budget is released at the legislature, we can use those materials to then go advocate with each of those legislators individually. And so we're going to be gearing up to do that in April. But that's an important piece of work, and we welcome anyone reaching out anytime if you want to know more. And then lastly, I would just report on the Oregon School Boards Association board work. I just joined their board in January, and this weekend we did our, I think, part 2. I wasn't there for part 1 because I joined the board just after this, of some diversity, equity, and inclusion training for the board of the Oregon School Boards Association, which was a really awesome opportunity to connect with school board directors from all across the state, from districts very different from ours, and some that are more similar, but a nice learning opportunity to connect Oregon leaders across the state. We also, a couple of us are going to do a visit to Roberts at Chemeketa this week, and so we'll be able to report back on that. And lastly, I'll just say happy Equal Pay Day. Equal Pay Day is the day where women's pay catches up with what men made in the prior year. And so we can talk about that more at another board meeting.
I was just going to say it's March and it's Social Workers Month, and as a social worker, I'm going to shout out our social workers. So.
And it's Women's History Month, so I'm hoping that we will talk about that at our next meeting as well. So before the end of March. Anything I missed? Okay.
Good.
All right, thank you. This meeting is now adjourned at 8:18. Thanks, everyone.